Let's start with the moment we've all had. You meet someone, the vibe is strong, the banter is easy, the connection feels effort, and you walk away thinking, "Child, finally, someone I'm compatible with." Except 3 months later, reality smacks you in the forehead, and you realize that the connection was real, but the compatibility was. Here's the part that most people never slow down long enough to notice. Chemistry can make two people feel aligned, but it's compatibility that actually keeps them aligned. And the reason why so many high achieving Black women are struggling with dating isn't because it's about chemistry. No, sis. It's because you've been taught to mistake intensity for alignment, comfort for connection, and effort for compatibility. Today, we unpacking that. We unpacking what compatibility really is, the kind that makes you react with ease instead of exhaustion. I'm also breaking down the signs you've been confusing compatibility with chemistry, how healthy compatibility shows up in real relationships, and the blind spots that even the smartest, most self aware woman miss when you're trying to choose a partner. By the end of this, you'll know exactly what to look for, what to stop romanticizing, and how to date with the kind of clarity that makes love feel like partnership, not performance. That's why today, sis, we are discussing mastering compatibility and why we keep getting it wrong. My name is Marshawn Olanio, and I am a shift relationship strategist. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I help and serve Black career women. I help and serve Black career women who are bosses in the boardroom, but also need some help with that shift when they are on their way home to their partners. Let's jump right into this juicy topic because a lot of us think that chemistry and can't talk today, baby. But a lot of us believe and or think that chemistry and compatibility are one and the same, and they're not. Here's what most people believe compatibility is. Many people assume compatibility is a vibe, it's a feeling, or an instant agreement. A lot of women confuse we like the same things and we want the same thing out of life. They confuse the two. They're not the same. Many believe that compatibility means never disagreeing instead of learning how to repair well. What does repair well mean? How do the two of you argue and or fight? If you know anything about Dr. Gottman, he has studied Dr. Gottman and his wife. Let me give respect where respect is due. They have both been studying couples for 40 plus years. They're also a couple themselves. And what they found is that they can tell when a couple, specifically married, because that's who they've been following, married couples, when, if and when they will stay together based off of how they fight, how they argue. If the two of you are at each other's necks, they can already tell based off of their research, y'all not going to be together for a lifelong time. You might stay together for years, maybe even decades, but you're not going to last the test of time unless the two of you learn how to fight, i.e., argue better. It's so important to be able to repair the damage that has occurred when it comes to the two of you and how you are fighting. A lot of us think that compatibility shows up in the first few dates. In reality, compatibility really shows up in those hard conversations that many of us avoid. That so many of us are having a tough time realizing that we married and or chose the wrong person. A lot of the tough conversations were either avoided or didn't go down that road for the sake of believing that they're going to leave because you're asking too many questions, trying to be in a business too much. or a plethora of other reasons. But the real truth is that asking those deeper questions, getting all in their business, and seeing how he is going to react to you asking all of these questions is where the real compatibility comes into fruition. And I brought this up before. If a man it gets pissed off that you asking too many questions, is because he's not ready for what you're ready for. Don't waste your time. Don't make it feel like, oh my God, I done ran another one away. What you did was clear the path for your man to actually show up, instead of you wasting a lot of time, energy, and effort on somebody that was not going to be yours for the long haul anyway. So don't worry about running those away. Don't worry about you got to go out and date some more folks, because you shouldn't be taking yourself off the market, even if you're only dating one person. Because I know that there is this yin and yang, if you will, out there in the market. Only date one person. And then there are other relationship coaches that are saying date multiple people. I say it's up to you and how you handle yourself. But it doesn't matter if you're dating multiple people or if you're dating one person. Do not decide to take yourself off of the market because you're dating this one good person only after a few dates. If he has not proven himself that he is the one, and you dating multiple people, continue to date those multiple people. If he has not proven to be the one and you're only dating him, stop dating him and go back into your place and wait for the next sucker to come around. I hate to say sucker because it really ain't that serious, but you get where I'm coming with that, right? Like, for real, you do what works best for you. Some people like to date multiple, others like to date one. Do what's best for you, because you're the one who's living your life. Create the life and the path that you want for you. Don't listen to whomever it doesn't feel right for you. Do what feels right for you, because you're the one who's creating your life, not your coach, not your therapist, not your parents. You and you alone, unless you are a believer in God, then absolutely I say co-creator, because God is part creator of your life. He's allowing you to choose. That's a different story. Let me move on, okay? Because a lot of us are hitting these rock bottoms, not realizing that you are creating or co-creating your life and why your life is going the way that it is going. Compatibility. I digress. It don't show up on the first few dates. It shows up through those tough conversations that a lot of us avoid. Research from the Gottman Institute shows that compatibility is tied more to how couples handle conflict than how similar they are. I actually just said this not too long ago. I forgot it was in my research. Okay. How you guys handling conflict? How do you think about you? Because I ain't even talking about him. If you're watching this, because men watch my channel too, think about both of y'all, women and men. Think about how you handle conflict. Are you calm and able to actually listen to the other person's viewpoint and or complaints without interruption, allowing them to fully express what they need to express, and then being able to have a conversation, ask more follow-up questions instead of taking it and being really defensive based off of what they said? Are you a person that punches walls because you never figured out how to handle your anger and get your emotions intact? Are you a person that runs away and just avoids all these things? Think about you. Don't think about the other person and what they did not do, what they brought to the table, didn't bring to the table. Let's talk about you, baby. Because a lot of us have that disease, as I like to say, of pointing the finger. It's not always the other person's fault. I'm not saying that they have zero fault in the matter, because there is some. But I don't want you to focus on their fault. I want you to focus on you. If you believe that the two of you were really compatible, ask yourself some of the deeper questions. What made the two of you compatible? And then let's write that out. And then let's go a little bit deeper. Maybe you say, we laughed at the same things. Okay, so what things did you actually laugh about? And then write those things out, whatever those things are. Well, we laughed a lot about, I don't know, whatever your thing is. It could be something serious. It could be something silly. What you're trying to do is get down to your part that you played. Well, we did laugh about a lot of stuff, but it was a lot of silly, stupid stuff. So there was laughter there. There was even belly laughs there. but we didn't really get into the real about who he is, the real about who I am. I never evaluated how I truly feel around him when he's not in my presence. I never evaluated the fact that I never let the endorphins come down and settle so the two of us can have an actual conversation. And I can ask some follow up questions if I didn't feel right. Or I just avoided asking those questions. Even when I saw or felt like something wasn't right, I avoided even going down that road because I was a little scared. And I'm plugging this here because I really want you to do something different. 2026 is right around the corner. And a lot of you, specifically professional Black women, don't understand what's blocking you. I created a quiz. What's blocking you from being soft in love? This quiz is going to break down and even point out some of your habits, some of your behaviors, some of your patterns. And then not only is it going to point these things out, it's also going to send you your results in your email. Not only is it going to send you your results, it's also going to send you a 3-page personalized action plan for you to start applying these things in your dating relationship so you can start running away from and or avoiding and or repeating the same behaviors that have not served you. If that sounds like something that you want to take advantage of and really figure out where you're at and what's blocking you, take the quiz. The link is in the description box as well as in the first pin comment. Now let's jump back in. What is compatibility? What is it? What is compatibility? Okay. Compatibility is your shared values. Compatibility is your aligned priorities. Compatibility is your emotional safety when the two of you are together. Compatibility is sustainable connection. True compatibility is revealed when boundaries, lifestyle, and future goals can coexist, not collide. It looks like feeling like yourself instead of performing this perfect version of you to keep things going. It is where you can be yourself and take that mask off if you always wear makeup. It is being yourself and taking that wig off if you always wear a wig or weave or whatever your thing is to keep you from them seeing the true you, right? It is being able to wash all of your makeup off at the end of the day. And if you have imperfection on your skin, allowing those things to show through and still feel like you're loved, still feel like you're seen, still feel like you're wanted. That's compatibility. Compatibility is not allowing this representative to be there all the time. I'm not saying don't beat your face. Beat your face if that's your thing. Wear the lashes if that's your thing. Put in the weave, wigs, the braids if that's your thing. But if you just think about this, if your partner never gets to see your true hair, never gets to see the blemishes or bumps or whatever it is that you're trying to hide, they have to be able to see the true you and love all of the true you as well as the made up you, the avatar you, the representative you. They have to be able to love both sides, but really it's the inner of you. The true you is your inner. Compatibility allows you to feel grounded, not dramatic. It makes you feel steady, not anxiety inducing. When he comes into the room, when he comes around you, are you a anxious ball bouncing around trying to get things perfect and ready? Or can you just be like, today, I don't feel like doing this ish and still feel wanted, still feel seen, still be able to have a great night, the two of you together or day, whenever you're meeting, but without you feeling like it is a must or things are going to go to HE double hockey stick in a handbasket if it ain't just right. Want it to feel steady, not anxiety inducing. Here's what compatibility looks like in healthy relationships. It's marked with emotional maturity, mutual effort, and shared relational skills. The both of you can communicate with honesty and care, not competition. That's not what this is about. The two of you figure out how to problem solve together. Together as one. The ideas like this ain't working for me, this ain't working for me. Let's figure out this thing together. Instead of turning on each other, the two of you understand that it's the problem. This right here is the problem. Instead of the two of you turning on each other, you're turning on the problem and like, okay, this is the thing that we need to be angry with. This thing, this invisible thing here. We need to be angry with this thing, not angry here at each other. We're going to problem solve together. The both of you can feel emotionally safe and secure enough to be vulnerable with one another without the fear of it being thrown in your face later on. Research shows that couples with secure communication patterns experience higher long-term relationship satisfaction and even stability. Just think about how much better, how much more connected, how much more seen, how much more loved you would feel in a relationship if the two of you communicated better. If just your communication improved in your relationship, how much better your relationship could be. Even if the two of you don't even stay together, just how much better your life could be if your communication was improved on both ends. If both of you said, if we don't change nothing else in this relationship, nothing, I'm talking about nothing, except how we communicate with each other, how we argue. Are we going to continue to hit each other below the belt and bring up all of the sacred things that were told to one another in secret and safety? And now it's being brought up later on. Is that what we're going to continue to do? Or are we going to make a conscious, intentional decision today to say, we want to do this one thing better? We always hear that communication is the key, but so many of us suck at communicating. We think just because we talk and use our words that we're actually communicating. That's not really the way communication works. It has to be very intentional what you listening to what the person is saying, not listening because you want to respond, listening because you're really trying to truly understand what he is asking of you or saying in this moment. And then you're doing the exact same thing. You're not interrupting. You're giving him a chance to actually express himself. He's giving you a chance to express yourself fully. And if he doesn't understand, he doesn't take the defensive route. He's like, you know what? I really don't understand what you're saying. Can you explain it to me or a different way? Or I think I do hear what you're saying, and you're saying A, B, C, D. Being able to say it back to you. And when the two of you can become better communicators, the environment, the temperature in the environment starts to dissipate, settles down, is much easier. And all that bubbling up and boiling over and saying all of the disgusting things that we say when we're mad to one another starts to go away because you just want to feel heard. You want to feel understood. You want to feel seen. And guess what, baby? He does too. He does too. Here's why so many people confuse chemistry with compatibility. Chemistry is an instant thing that happens. It's like, oh shoot, this is my homie. Like, you know how you meet somebody and you don't know them from Adam, but automatically you can meet them and see them and you feel like you know them. Think about when you're in a different country. This is one of the best ways you can think about. When you're in a different country and you see somebody from your country. So I'm from the US, right? So maybe I go over to Africa, but I see another US person, automatically they my BFF because just because they're from the US. We might not be from the same, I might be from California, they may be from Atlanta, Georgia. We're not from the same state. But just because you're from the US and I'm from the US, we BFFs. That's what chemistry is. It's instant. Oh, you from the US? I'm from the US. Blah, 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 blah. Now you just got so much to talk about, even though you're from different states, different cultures, et cetera, right? So that's chemistry. Compatibility is revealed. It's over time. Chemistry makes us feel understood quickly. It's instant and it often blinds us. And it can mimic intimacy even when it's not real. Your body reacts to chemistry. Your values respond to compatibility. But most people follow that instant reaction instead of the reality. So I want to say that again. Your body reacts to the chemistry. That, oh my God, my homie, right? That example, US, we over in Africa, etc. That's my homie. That's that instantaneous thing, right? My body is reacting. I may give him a hug, a pound, whatever we doing. But as I slow down, as I ask those deeper questions, and I really figure out how we are compatible together. I said this before. It's revealed over time. It's revealed through the questions. It's revealed through the actions of the person that you should be collecting your data while you are dating them. So when you walk away and you allow those endorphins to come on down and you're settled and there's no contact, and then you can assess the situation, the date. Should I go out on another date? Did I feel? Was I seen? Did he try to make me feel less than? Did he not ask me about me? I mean, listen, I remember it's been a few months. This guy asked me for my number. We went back and forth, whatever. So he saw me out. Actually, I was in Target. He saw me out in Target, asked me for my number, had a decent conversation there, enough for me to give him my number. Did that. He called, I don't remember, called, text to see what I was available, whatever it was, but I do remember that we got on the phone. And this joker wouldn't shut up. Why do I say that? Because literally this joker would not shut up. For like 30 minutes, he sat there and talked about himself. Now, I didn't pay attention to the time in the beginning because I was asking a lot of follow-up questions. But after a while, I literally just shut up. And I just was like, uh-huh. And that was like my last response. And this was about 30 minutes. About 30 minutes. After I literally shut up, kind of held the phone for a few minutes, was kind of one of those awkward silences, but I didn't break it. So I wanted to see what was going to happen next. Finally, he said, I've been talking enough. Let me hear about you. We conversed a little bit more. I literally had to get off the phone because it was just time for me to go. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to like hours and hours anyway. And when I got off the phone, I was just like, nah. I'm like 30 minutes in, bro. We didn't have a banter, a back and forth. It was me asking. Now, again, he was answering because I was asking. So I felt like he was at least giving me some information, something to work with. But at the same time, I'm like, it took you 30 minutes to ask me about little old me. You more into you, baby. You ain't into me. You wanted to make yourself feel good by getting my number to see maybe if you could get my number. I don't know. Whatever happened, And I don't even want to tell you what the conversation was about, which was why I was asking so many questions. But it took way too long for him to ask about me. And that literally turned me off. So I'm like, wait a minute. If it's going to take me to literally shut my mouth from asking questions in order for the little timer to come off, maybe I was doing too much. Okay, I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. Tell me down in the comment section below. Was I doing too much? Was I expecting too much? Okay. Then there's the trap of we click so well. That early click, we click so well. That early click can make you feel like fate when it's actually familiarity. Sometimes you click because you're repeating a pattern, not meeting a match. The connection feels natural because it may mirror your past experiences, even the unhealthy ones. You may assume ease in conversation equals ease in partnerships, but they are not the same. Research on repetition compulsion shows that people are drawn to familiar emotional patterns, even if they are destructive. But we click so well. Trap number 2. He gets me. Illusion. Feeling seen is powerful and is absolutely what each of us need in order to be in a healthy relationship. So that one piece, feeling seen. But feeling seen does not confirm long-term alignment. A man can understand your story without being able to honor your needs. Feeling emotionally connected early on doesn't guarantee he's going to hold emotional responsibility later. Someone can mirror your energy without being compatible with your future. Something to think about for sure. Something to think about for sure. If you ever found yourself thinking you were compatible with someone, only to realize later that you were really just swept up in chemistry, you are not alone. Every woman, even the most emotionally intelligent and self-aware woman, has confused the two at some point in their dating life. It doesn't make you naive. It just makes you human. But it can keep you stuck on and in the same patterns, choosing based on connection instead of alignment, getting excited by intensity instead of consistency, or believing a spark means something deeper is there. That's exactly why I created my quiz, was blocking you from being soft in love. Because once you understand what's driving your choices, the habits you fall into, the patterns you repeat, the unconscious blocks shaping how you show up, you gain the clarity to break cycles that have been running your life. And when you take the quiz, you don't just get the label or a result. You receive a 3-page personalized action plan to start shifting how you show up in this thing that we call dating, so you can finally experience compatibility in the way it was meant to be: aligned, steady, supportive, and real. Click the link in the description box or in the pinned comment to take the quiz right now.